What's going on, guys? It's me back with another video. Today, I'm going to be giving you my full card predictions and breakdowns for UFC Fight Night Park versus Taira. Um, this is actually a pretty good fight night. It's underrated. I see a lot of people calling it mid, calling it shit. There's actually some really good fights on this card, and I'm pretty hyped for it. I'm looking forward. There's a lot of good matchups. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it. I'm recording this early in the morning. I just woke up. I'm gonna upload it later in the day. So sorry if I sound a little cooked, but we're gonna get through this. So first fight on the card: Piera Rodriguez versus Ketlin Souza. I'm gonna go with Piera Rodriguez. I just think she's a little more consistent than Ketlin Souza. I know Souza has the experience advantage and she's fought higher level competition, but she hasn't really been able to pull through against that higher level of competition. You know what I mean? Like, yes, she's fought some good fighters, but like in her last fight, lost a decision to Angela Hill, lost to Karine Silva, and that's about it for high level competition. She has her best win is Yasmin Uregui, who I don't rate very highly. So, yeah, I think Pierre Rodriguez is going to get this one done. A little more consistent. Uh, Ketlin Souza has fought the higher level of competition, but she hasn't been able to pull through against the higher level of competition. And I like Pierre Rodriguez's wins against Josephine Knudsen and Sam Hughes. I think those are really good wins, especially Sam Hughes by decision. That's impressive. Sam Hughes is usually good at winning decisions. And yeah, I know she lost to Jillian Robertson, but Jillian Robertson is very good as well, so not gonna discredit that too much. So yeah, I like Pierre Rodriguez's wins more. I like the Sam Hughes win, the Josephine Knudsen win. Ketlin Souza has not been able to pull through against that level of competition, so I'm gonna go Pierre Rodriguez to win this fight by decision. Let's move on to the next one. We got Felipe Bunez versus Rafael Estevam. I'm going to have to go with Rafael Estevam to win this fight by decision. Estevam is one of the best prospects at flyweight. He's top three for me. It's him, Hyun Sung Park, and Andre Lima. Those are the three best prospects at flyweight right now. And Rafael Estevam, man, he's so good. He's very well rounded, great grappler, puts on a pace on the first two rounds. I know he usually gasses out and loses the third. We saw that in his last fight against Jesus Aguilar, who almost finished him in the third round, but Estevam clearly won the first two. I think he's going to do that here. I think he's going to win the first two rounds off Bunez pretty clearly. Maybe Bunez comes back strong on the third, but I think Estevam's going to win the first two really easily. Estevam's just the better fighter. Bunez is 14-7. I all I need to know. Estevam is undefeated for a reason. He's very good. He's very talented. And I got Rafael Estevam winning this fight by either decision or maybe a submission in the first round. We've seen Felipe Bunez kind of get out grappled and outworked on the ground before against guys like let me just look here, against guys like Huzier Formiga. uh yeah, I don't know, it's early in the morning, my brain is not thinking right, but you get the idea. Bunez has been submitted before. um he's been submitted twice. I think Estevam can pull off a submission here, maybe wins by decision, probably decision. Bunez is 1-1 in the UFC. Got the shit beat out of him by Joshua Van, and then submitted Jose Johnson. Estevam is 2-0 in the UFC. Beat Charles Johnson by decision, and beat Jesus Aguilar by decision. The Charles Johnson win is very impressive, so I rate that pretty highly. I'm gonna go Rafael Estevam here. Let's move on to the next fight. I should have recorded this later in the day, but I have stuff to do, so gotta get it out of the way. Next one we have Austin Bashi versus John Yanez. Or Yanis, however the fuck you say that name. Austin Batchy should get a quick submission here. John Yanis is a nobody. He's a can, from what we know so far. And Austin Batchy is actually pretty good. His one loss is to Christian Rodriguez, the prospect killer. Um, that is what it is. Christian Rodriguez just beats these undefeated prospects. But I'm going to go Austin Bashi here to win by decision or first round submission. He's got great wrestling, great jiu-jitsu, and he's improving on the feet. So give me Austin Bashi to win this fight by first round submission. Not much else to say about that one. Next fight on the card, we got, what the hell? We got Nick Klein versus Andrei Pulayev. Just pulled up the odds accidentally. I guess I'm picking the favorite because I'm going Andrei Pulayev to win this fight by decision. Nick Klein is just, he's a good grappler. He's got good ground game. On the feet, he's got a wild man's chance, and that's it. I think Pullaev can pick him apart on the feet, stay on the outside. He's got a good chin. He took bombs from Christian Leroy Duncan, who hits hard. And I think Nick Klein is going to just get teed off on. I think Pullaev is going to be able to circle around, use his range effectively, pick him apart from the outside, and win a close 29-28, maybe a split decision over Nick Klein. Nick Klein might get some takedowns, but Pullaev has good takedown defense. Even though he's primarily a striker, he's still a Russian. He's got some level of grappling and wrestling, so that's going to be there. And Nick Klein's American, and American wrestling sucks. So, yeah. Give me Andre Pullaev to win a 29-28 decision, a close one. Yeah. Enough said. Let's move on to the next fight. We got... Get out of the way. We got... Rodolfo Vieira versus Tresean Gore. I'm going to go Rodolfo Vieira to win this fight by... He could win this fight. I could see him submitting Tresean Gore. I could see him TKOing Tresean Gore, and I can see him winning a decision. Which one is the most likely? I think a decision is the most likely. Rodolfo Vieira is not the best striker. Obviously, we saw Tresean Gore get the shit beat out of him and finished in his last fight by Marco Tulio. Marco Tulio is levels above Vieira on the feet, though. But I could see Vieira taking Tresean Gore down and subbing him up. I'm gonna go that. I'm gonna go Rodolfo Vieira via first round submission. I think he's gonna have a size and physicality advantage over Tresean Gore. Tresean Gore is this weirdly built, stocky guy. His striking's not that good. He does have a slick guillotine, but I don't think Vieira is gonna get caught in a guillotine. I think he has before. I'm pretty sure. Didn't Anthony Hernandez get him in a guillotine? I think I remember Anthony Hernandez subbed him. But yeah, Tresean Gore's not Anthony Hernandez, so I'm gonna be going with Rodolfo Vieira to win this fight by a decision or by first round submission. I could see him like baiting a guillotine or something, or like Tresean Gore tries to like rush Vieira, like times a takedown under a big shot and maybe works towards a head and arm. I could see Vieira head and arm choke. I could see Vieira rear naked. I don't know. I'm gonna go Rodolfo Vieira though to win this fight by submission. Let's move on to the next one where we have Rinya Nakamura versus Nathan Fletcher. Nakamura let me down last time against Muin Gafarov. I picked him to beat Muin Gafarov. I picked him as a lock, I'm pretty sure, and he got fraud checked by Muin Gafarov, which is wild because Muin Gafarov's not that good. He's a decent striker, but as an MMA fighter, Muin Gafarov sucks. All Nakamura had to do was shoot takedowns in that fight, but he didn't. And I was really tempted to go with Nathan Fletcher here as an underdog because Nathan Fletcher is well-rounded. I think he's a better striker than Rinya Nakamura, and I think he has the grappling and jiu-jitsu to defend some things, but all in all, I am going to go with Rinya Nakamura. I think he's the better wrestler. I also think he has a speed advantage on the feet. I think he can use that speed advantage to land some crisp, straight shots and maybe get Nathan Fletcher worried about the takedowns to open up the striking a bit more. Because we saw Nathan Fletcher lose due to wrestling in his last fight against Callum Loughran. And Callum Loughran's not that good. And Nathan Fletcher got out-wrestled by Callum Loughran. So I'm going to go Rinya Nakamura getting the takedowns, using his speed on the feet to set up the takedowns, and using the takedowns to set up the striking. He's going to have Nathan Fletcher guessing, and I think Rinya Nakamura is going to be able to land the harder shots. I think Nathan Fletcher is going to land more volume, and I think he's going to have a good third round, but I think the first two rounds, it's going to be Rinya being faster on the feet, opening up the takedowns with the striking, and using his takedowns to open up the striking, if that makes sense. Basically just making Nathan Fletcher guess what Rinya's going to do. Rinya has more ways to win. He can win this by submission. He can win this by... I think he has a better chance to win by decision. I think Fletcher's only way to win is like a fluke TKO. But, or maybe like a fluke guillotine when Rinya's jumping in. But Rinya doesn't strike me as the type of guy to get guillotined. So I'm going to go Rinya Nakamura to win a decision here. Faster on the feet. And better wrestler. So I think that's going to allow him to set up his takedowns a lot easier than most other people would. If Callum Loughran is taking you down consistently and controlling you on the ground, Rinya Nakamura is going to do that tenfold. Rinya Nakamura is a way better grappler than Callum Loughran. So yeah, Rinya Nakamura decision. Let's move on to the next fight. I'm hyped for this one. Danny Silva versus Kevin Vallejos. I'm going Kevin Vallejos, but this fight is a lot closer than you guys think. Danny Silva's good. He is good. I know he makes it close with a lot of people. I know that, alright? Danny Silva has some close, close scraps with people. We saw the fight with Lucas Almeida, split decision. We saw the fight with Josh Kulibau, split decision. Angel Pacheco. He's making it close with some people. And that's why I'm picking Kevin Vallejos, because Kevin Vallejos is starching people and smoking people. These fights that Danny Silva's having with like Lucas Almeida and Josh Kulibau, these close-ass decisions, are the type of fights that Kevin Vallejos is having with Gene Silva on the Contender Series. So I think Kevin Vallejos is a level above, but I've seen some people thinking Danny Silva's a can. Danny Silva's no can. Danny Silva's good. He's fun. He's a violent striker. And I think Danny Silva is actually going to have some moments in this fight. I'm going to go Kevin Vallejos second round TKO. I think Silva's going to survive the first round, have a good close first round. And then I think Vallejos' boxing and power is just going to be too much, and I think he's going to put Danny Silva away in round 2. Vallejos is very good. I think Vallejos is going to be a top 5 fighter in this division when he's in his prime. I don't think he's going to be champion. I think he has a couple holes in his game that he needs to work on. His grappling has not been tested yet at a high level, and I feel like he's a little hittable, but that might have just been the Gene Silva fight. But I don't know. Something about Kevin Vallejos. I don't think he's going to be champ, but I'm really hoping we get a Gene Silva rematch in the future. I want him and Gene Silva to keep winning. Gene Silva wins the belt, and then Gene Silva has to defend the title against Vallejos in a rematch at some point. That's going to be sick. I can't wait for that. But yeah, I got Kevin Vallejos winning this fight by second round TKO. Danny Silva comes out aggressive, wins, maybe not wins, but has a competitive first round, makes it close. Vallejos pulls through, gets the TKO in round 2. Silva's not a can, guys. Silva's very good. I bet he's like a massive underdog. Not that crazy. Yeah, I think these odds are pretty right. I thought Vallejos was going to be like a minus 600 or more. But Vallejos should get this one done. He's the better fighter, way better on the feet, and Silva's not going to take this fight to the ground. So, yeah. I got Danny Silva winning. I got Kevin Vallejos winning this fight, KOing Danny Silva in round 2. But Silva's underrated, so don't be surprised if this fight's a lot closer than you guys think. Danny Silva's very good. Next fight. Bit of a sleeper fight here. Neil Magny versus Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos. I'm actually going to go with Neil Magny as the underdog here. I'm going to go with Neil Magny submitting Zaleski. That's what I'm going to go with here, or decisioning him. I think Neil Magny's range and height. We've seen Zaleski fight a lot of kind of rangier guys. We've seen the Randy Brown fight. I think that was 2 fights ago. I think that was before the Chitty fight, unless there was another fight in between there. Was there a fight in between there? Yeah, the Zach Scroggin fight. So, he fought Randy Brown, who's a very tall, lanky guy. Very similar frame to Neil Magny. He fought Chidi Njokuani as well, who's rangy and has a similar frame to Neil Magny, tall and lanky. But yeah, my brain is not working. But yeah, I think Zaleski kind of struggles a little bit with the tall, rangy guys. He can't really get his striking going. He's not a very good pocket boxer. He likes using his kicks at range, and he likes the leg kicks. He likes long, rangy attacks. I think Magny's going to be able to back up well and evade most of the shots. I think Magny's going to time some good takedowns, and I think he's going to out-grapple Zaleski to a decision, or even possibly submit Zaleski. I'm going to go with Neil Magny to win this fight by submission. You guys can call me crazy all you want. I'm picking the slight underdog, Neil Magny. He's underrated on the feet. He was landing clean shots on Carlos Prates before the KO. And I think he can land some decent shots on Zaleski. Zaleski struggles to get in the pocket against taller guys. He's not a good pocket boxer. He likes striking from range against guys that are his height or slightly taller. Magny's height and reach is going to give him a little bit of a... It's going to give Zaleski some problems on the feet. You're going to see that. Zaleski struggles to strike with tall guys. We've seen it against Randy Brown. We've seen it against Chidi Njokuani. He can't really get his striking going against taller guys because he likes striking like he's a taller guy, despite being 5'11" at welterweight. But yeah, I think he's going to be able to chew up Magny's legs at least. I think that's going to be a big factor, and I think his body shots are going to be a factor. But I think Magny's overall is going to win with ground and pound and control on the ground. I think Magny's going to win a 29-28 split decision. and he's gonna upset Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos, and I'm picking the underdog to win. Let's go. Neil Magny by decision or by submission, honestly. I could see like Magny taking Zaleski down, Zaleski scrambles out, and Magny like jumps a Darce choke. Like he did to Daniel Rodriguez when he Darce choked him. But yeah, I'm gonna go Neil Magny. Beating Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos by decision or submission, one of those two. Probably decision. I'm gonna go with decision officially. But yeah, Neil Magny is gonna win this fight as an underdog. Let's go. Next fight. Karol Rosa versus Nora Cornell. I'm gonna go with Nora Cornell to win this fight. Again, I think she's a little more consistent, and she has something on the feet that can make a real difference, and that's power. She has power on the feet, which I think can really sway this fight. Karol Rosa is good. I think about skill-wise, they're about the same. She has a lot more experience. Karol Rosa has fought the top of the division. But I just think Nora Cornell is a more physical fighter. And I think Nora Cornell has the power advantage. And I think she's a little more well-rounded. I think they both have good grappling. But Nora Cornell is definitely a better striker. So I think Nora Cornell is going to be able to use that striking advantage and the power advantage to keep Rosa from getting anything going. Because if she gets too aggressive, Cornell could counter with like a big hook or something. And Karol Rosa just doesn't have the power of Nora Cornell to equalize that. So I think the power of Nora Cornell is going to make a difference here. And the grappling, she's a big physical person. She can take this fight to the ground if she needs to. I got Nora Cornell winning this fight by decision or possibly a TKO. That's another way I could see this fight going. But I think I'm going to have to go with a decision here. Just based on being more powerful, more well-rounded, bigger, more physical. Her only loss in the UFC is the split decision to Jacqueline Cavalcanti, which is extremely impressive. Jacqueline Cavalcanti, in my opinion, is the best bantamweight women's prospect in the world. Cavalcanti is very good, and taking her to a split decision is impressive. So, yeah, I think Nora Cornell is going to win this fight. Karol Rosa, a little bit too inconsistent for my liking. Lost her last fight to Eileen Perez. Got taken down pretty easily in that fight. Nora Cornell is... I think Nora Cornell also has the ability to take people down like that. I don't think she's as good of a grappler as Eileen Perez, but I think Nora Cornell can take this fight to the ground if she needs to. But I think she won't need to. She's a better striker, more power, more physical on the feet. Karol Rosa has not been doing well recently. Lost to Eileen Perez. Lost to Irene Aldana not too long ago. Lost to Norma Dumont. Sarah McMahon. She's been losing a lot of her recent fights. Split decision with Yana Santos, who is not all that. So yeah, I think Nora Cornell wins this fight pretty comfortably. Outstrikes her on the feet, lands the bigger shots with her power advantage, and if she needs to, she has grappling in the back pocket. So give me Nora Cornell to win this fight. Sorry if this breakdown video is terrible. I am tired. I gotta wake up a bit, but yeah. Next fight, probably the fight I am maybe looking the most forward to: Esteban Ribovics versus Elvis Brenner. I'm going to go with Esteban Ribovics by a second or third round TKO. I think Brenner's going to make it close in the first. I think he's going to land some big shots on Ribovics. I think he's going to test Ribovics' takedowns as well. Elvis Brenner's well-rounded. Brenner's just a tough scrapper. Both of these guys are, but I think Ribovics has a youth advantage. He hasn't taken as much damage as Brenner. And I think Ribovics has a very clear striking advantage. I think he's a better striker than Brenner. Way better striker than Brenner. He has the output advantage. He throws so many strikes. So forward-heavy with his pressure. And I think Elvis Brenner is going to start to get overwhelmed as the fight goes. He's going to be shooting desperate takedowns, getting clipped on the feet with like 8-piece combos. Ugh. And I think I think Esteban Ribovics is going to TKO Elvis Brenner in round 3. Yeah. Elvis Brenner is good, but he's more of just a scrapper, where I think Ribovics is actually like technically sound and a scrapper. So that's going to help Ribovics in this fight. I got Ribovics winning. This is what worries me, though. Elvis Brenner's power can really sway fights. We've seen him make comebacks, and we've seen him sway fights completely with just his power. Obviously, we saw the the Garam fight, where Elvis Brenner was losing that fight. He was down 2-0, then came back with a KO in round 3, right? Like, we've seen it before. We've seen him come back from losing. And that's very much a possibility here. Right? But I've just seen Brenner get dominated too many times. Joel Alvarez beat the fuck out of him and finished him. Muay Thai back Oralby dominated him with the wrestling and even dropped him on the feet. Like, he arguably got rogged by Zubara Tugugov. I'm gonna go with Ribovics here. I know Ribovics lost his last fight to Nazar Haqparast. I thought he won that fight. I thought Ribovics should have won. But Haqparast is good. Haqparast is that right outside the rankings guy at lightweight who's maybe looking for a ranked opponent next against like someone. I don't know. But Elvis Brenner is probably going to get pieced up here. Ribovics has good grappling himself. I think he can defend the takedowns of Elvis Brenner. And I think he's a better striker on the feet than Brenner. Brenner probably has more power, but he doesn't throw nearly enough output, in my opinion. I think Ribovics is going to capitalize on Elvis Brenner's gun shyness in moments. And Ribovics might even go for some takedowns himself. So I got Ribovics to win by third round TKO, overwhelming Elvis Brenner, TKOing him up against the fence, making him crumble to the pressure and the volume. Yeah, Esteban Ribovics via being Max Holloway 2.0. That's a fight I need to see before it's all said and done. Esteban Ribovics versus Max Holloway in a 5-rounder. That'd be a fucking banger of a fight. But yeah, Esteban Ribovics is going to win this fight via TKO. Let's move on to the next one. Chris Duncan versus Mateusz Rebecki. Going to give you a short breakdown on this one. Mateusz Rebecki is going to dominate Chris Duncan. He's going to beat his head into the ground. Chris Duncan is a fluker. He has a fluke submission game and a fluke overhand right. That's all he has. And Mateusz Rebecki is not getting fluked. He just isn't. He's got a granite chin. He's very strong. He's not going to get submitted with a fucking fluke guillotine. None of that's happening. Mateusz Rebecki's better, stronger, more aggressive, better. He's better. He's just better. I know he's a little shrimp, and he's 5'7" with a 66-inch reach, which is very shrimpy. He's got very shrimpy legs. Get the fuck off my screen, Hop Arrow. But yeah, Mateusz Rebecki is going to beat the shit out of Chris Duncan and finish him probably in the first round. I'm going to go with Mateusz Rebecki, first round ground and pound TKO. Easy fight to predict. I'm sure he's a big favorite. That should be higher in my opinion. Duncan's a fluker. He's not going to fluke Rebecki. So yeah. I got Mateusz Rebecki winning this fight by TKO in the first round ground and pound. Let's move on to the main event. Tatsuro Taira versus Hyun-Sung Park. If any of you are here from Verdict, if any of you have found my channel through Verdict, you probably saw my Verdict post. Yes, I am picking Hyun-Sung Park to win this fight by decision. I'm going to keep it more brief here. If you guys want the full breakdown, I posted a breakdown on Verdict. I can put it in the comments if you guys want, but that's up to you guys. I don't know. It's very long. And yeah, I don't know. But Hyun-Sung Park, I think he's going to beat Tatsuro Taira. I think Hyun-Sung Park is a more complete fighter. I think both of them are grapplers at their best. I think both of them, when they're at their best, are on the ground. But Hyun-Sung Park's striking game is so much more polished than Tatsuro Taira's. Tatsuro Taira has no head movement. He has bad defense. His footwork is mid. He just kind of moves around and he's ploddy. Like, I've never seen a ploddy flyweight. Like, he kind of just plods around a little bit. Like, he's not ploddy like heavyweight, but like compared to a guy like Hyun-Sung Park, Hyun-Sung Park's footwork is way slicker. His boxing is way crisper. Like, he mixes it up way better. But that's not even where he's at his best. He's at his best on the ground. So I think Taira's going to have a much harder time taking this guy down than he does with others. Like, Taira's going to struggle to get Hyun-Sung Park down. Hyun-Sung Park's going to be defending a lot of takedowns with his strong explosive base and his elite grappling himself. And on the feet, I think Hyun-Sung Park's going to piece up Tatsuro Taira with volume. He's going to back him up against the fence. He's going to bloody him up with a jab, like what Roy Val did. Hit him with combos, mix it up to the body. He's going to be quicker, sharper, better footwork, better on the feet everywhere. And I think Taira's going to really struggle to get the takedowns because Hyun-Sung Park is a strong, explosive guy. He's got great grappling himself. Tatsuro Taira is not going to be completely safe on the ground. Hyun-Sung Park, I can see Hyun-Sung Park getting takedowns of his own. I can see Hyun-Sung Park hitting reversals and controlling Taira. Hyun-Sung Park is very strong and physical. Like, if Hyun-Sung Park's smart, I could see him using the striking advantage that he has, hitting Taira with some good shots, making Taira put his hands up, and then shooting a double leg or something, or getting a body lock and getting Taira down. I can see Hyun-Sung Park using his superior striking to set up the ground game, which is where Park's at his best. Like, Hyun-Sung Park is, in my opinion, arguably the best flyweight prospect that we have. It's between him and Andre Lima. That's a fight that I want to see. Hyun-Sung Park versus Andre Lima. That'd be fucking sick. But Hyun-Sung Park, I think, is going to beat Tatsuro Taira. I really think he is. Tatsuro Taira has no defense. Like I said before, bad head movement. I see Hyun-Sung Park piecing Taira up on the feet. But he's a better boxer. He mixes it up to the body. Crisper, better footwork. Everywhere this fight goes, I see Hyun-Sung Park being the better fighter. Well, not on the ground. I think Taira is a better grappler, but I don't know if he has the wrestling and the striking to set up his grappling. Like I said this about the Ray Saruya Joshua Van fight. You need striking to set up your grappling, and Ray Saruya just didn't have the striking in that matchup. I think we're going to see something similar here. Hyun-Sung Park is going to be too much. Hyun-Sung Park's skill advantage on the feet is going to be too much. Taira is going to struggle to set up the takedowns, and I think he's going to get overwhelmed by Park on the feet. And I'm not worried about Park gassing out. I've seen Park go 3 rounds and not gas out. I've seen him get finishes in the 3rd round, so I'm not too worried about him gassing out. I'm going to go with Hyun-Sung Park to win a 29-28 unanimous decision over Tatsuro Taira. I think Hyun-Sung Park is better striker. I'm kind of just sounding like a broken record right now, but I'm keeping it brief. Let me just go over this real quick. Hyun-Sung Park, better striker, crisper on the feet, better footwork. He's going to outstrike Tatsuro Taira, clip him up with the jab, mix it up with knees to the body. He has very heavy knees to the body. Tatsuro Taira is going to struggle to get the takedowns because he's not going to have the striking to set it up. And Hyun-Sung Park has great takedown defense. He's never been taken down professionally, and he is just really solid on the ground himself. So I think the striking differential is way bigger than the grappling differential, and I think Hyun-Sung Park's going to win a damage-based decision. I think they're both going to be kind of gassed out near the end, but honestly, I could see Taira being more gassed out. We saw Taira slow down against Royval. I know Royval's a fucking volume and cardio machine, but we did see Taira slow down against Royval, and I think Hyun-Sung Park could slow him down even more with mixing up to the body, hitting Taira with heavy knees to the body that slowed Taira down even earlier. And I see Hyun-Sung Park dominating this fight on the feet and even mixing in takedowns of his own, using his superior striking to land takedowns, just winning this fight overall in the every aspect of MMA, winning this fight. I think Taira's going to get overwhelmed here with Hyun-Sung Park, and I think Taira's going to lose a close decision here, 48-47 unanimous for Hyun-Sung Park. This breakdown was fucking terrible. I'm tired, but I hope you guys get the idea. Hyun-Sung Park better on the feet, crisper, going to outstrike Taira. Hyun-Sung Park's also a really good grappler. He's a better grappler than he is a striker, which is scary because he's really good on the feet too. And Tatsuro Taira is going to struggle to get his takedowns, and I just see Hyun-Sung Park keeping it on the feet, outstriking him, and even setting up takedowns of his own. So I think Hyun-Sung Park's a bad matchup for Tatsuro Taira, and I'm picking Hyun-Sung Park, and he's a plus 275. I think there's huge value on Hyun-Sung Park, so I got Hyun-Sung Park winning this fight by decision. Jesus, this is the Yap Fest. I gotta try and not make videos when I'm like super tired, just waking up, because I don't know what to say. I've somehow managed to drag this to 28 minutes, so I'm gonna end it here. Gonna give you some quick locks. Matasha Becky's a lock. Estevam's a lock. Austin Boshi's a lock. And I'll give you one more just because why not? Nora Cornell's a lock. So we got Rebecca, Cornell, Boshi, and Estevam. Those are my 4 locks of the card. My 4 most confident picks. I'm also pretty confident in Hyun-Sung Park. I do think he's a bad style for Taira, and I think he's going to win. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry if this commentary was shit. I'm tired. Just woke up. Gotta be somewhere, so can't record it later in the day like usual. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoy. See you guys in the next one. Peace.